All right, my friends, we've made it to day 11, and we're reading Job chapter 29 through Job chapter 31. And as you can see, I'm back inside because it did not snow. And so we're going to continue with our normal venue, and we're going to continue to just come together and study God's word. But before we get into our recap for the day, if you have not already accepted the invitation to join us every single day as we read the Bible all across this country, I want you to check the description box below, and there will be a link directly to YouVersion Bible app, and you can access the group and converse and talk with individuals all across the country who are reading the Bible every single day. I know for a fact you will be blessed by it, and I know you will enjoy interacting with several people who have a lot to say about what they're learning from God's word. Now, if you have trouble, please take a moment to email us at selflesschurch2023@gmail.com. If you have any issues accessing the link, we'll be more than happy to get you signed on and make sure you're able to join the group. Now, we're going to get right into our study for this day, and we're going to look at Job chapter 29. And there's a lot here that we can cover, but we're getting down to the final protest, is what it's called. This is the last time we will hear from Job until God comes to speak with him. There's a final character that we'll encounter who has not been interacting, but who has obviously been present throughout the whole dialogue, and we'll hear from him for a few chapters. But Job is sitting in this moment, and he's recalling and reflecting on some of the times he's had in his life. And what I got from today's reading is Job was a bit of a man of rapport. People knew him, and people knew his wealth, they knew his wisdom, they knew his ability to bring a positive impact to their lives, and he was often the one that was sought after. And here we find Job expressing anguish over what he considers to be a loss of God's faithfulness. It feels like he knows that God has been faithful to him. God has put him in a very comfortable place. And all of a sudden, God took away all of that. And he's wondering what is going on and how has this happened. But when we look at all of this, one of the things I can say here, and one thing I'm learning about God in this book, is that God is indeed faithful. And even when we don't feel like he's faithful, he is still yet faithful. He's doing something behind the scenes. So here's what I took away from today's reading. We can never gauge God's faithfulness by what we see, what we perceive, and what we think we understand. Because if we gauge the faithfulness of God on those three things, what we will discover is that our understanding or our perception of God's faithfulness is often up and down. In fact, what we'll conclude is that God is not faithful at all. But what we see here in this text is while God is silent, while God is not actually responding to any of the things that Job has said at this moment, he is still faithful because in the background, he's working something out that will benefit Job and also bring him glory. And so, yes, it hurts, man. It hurts to be that person that goes from the top and now you find yourself at the bottom. But what I can say and what I am learning, at least through reading this text, is that God yet is faithful. He is going to do something that will blow Job's mind. And our responsibility in the middle of all of this is to remain faithful to God. It's to remain in a trusting relationship with him, knowing that he's going to work this thing out for us. So this has been a beautiful day reading. It's been a joy reading through the thoughts of Job, and we've reached the end of it at this point. But we have a bit more to go in this book. So tomorrow we'll pick up with the conversation that will be led by Elihu, who is a young man, obviously, but he has a lot to say and a very large opinion to give. So we're going to continue to read, but I'd love to hear what you have to say and what you thought was great about today's reading. If you have anything interesting you'd like to share, please leave it in the comment box below. Let's continue to read, let's continue to study, and seek the Lord's will through his word. Until next time, thank you for watching. Take care, God bless, and live by the word.